I remember for a period of time that, I was 16 years old, so I had to go to get assistance from Job and Family Services. And I can remember even the way I was treated there going in there. It was just like, okay, you're another one of them. Come over here. Do you have your papers? And I can just remember that feeling of just shame, or how they just kind of just turn their nose down at me. And I have always been driven by that. Like, nope, this is not where I'm staying, right? I'm going to keep going. And so for every job and everything that I've had to do, it's been interesting because I can look at the other people who are like, they're happy, they're content in where they are. And I can say, this is okay right now, but this is not where I'm going to end up. And I remember if I would say something, people would just say, well, you've got this, and you've got a daughter, and, now you've got a son. And so how are you going to, okay, I'm going to prove you wrong. And so I share that because there are so many young ladies that your mistakes, and I say this all the time when I speak, your mistakes do not define you. They make you stronger. They make you better.
Casa, make yourself at home, do your do. Welcome to my pad, this your lab, go create your move.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to 99 miles per hour. It's me, your host, Perci, Garner, and I have another guest today, as you could imagine. But before we get to our special guest today, I just wanted to take a moment and thank our sponsors, or sponsor, Peterman Plumbing. We got another one in the works. Hopefully they come on soon, because I can't wait for that one. It's another food one, so you guys get to see me eat again. Anyways, let's get into the show. And the person I got today is what just went through my head. I'm glad I didn't say that. The person I got today, we have grown a relationship in the last few years. Been a part of Rotary. I'm one of her board members at the Y. I guess that gives away who she is. And I'm just glad to, get to know her more and get involved with the Y some more. So I'm glad she asked me to come on the board. This person hails from Massillon, Ohio, but she's committed to Tuscarawas County now. And it's the CEO of the YMCA, Tiffany Foxx. Thanks for coming on the show. How you feeling?
Thanks for having me, TIG.
I finally got you here.
I know. Wait. So I have to ask, because you just put it out there. So I have to say, you said you're waiting for another food sponsor because you like to eat. Your guests like to eat. And I think I mentioned this before after watching one of them, that why are we not eating? It's close to dinner time. I think you should.
That is true. Well, you're going to come on again. This show's going to go on forever. So you'll be back on in a year or so. And the next sponsor, you'll have a meal from them. I just want to put that out there. Well, we were supposed to have it for the Your Pizza, but my guests didn't come down. I think I explained this to you. They were in Michigan and they weren't able to make it. So that's my excuse for taking all the food for myself. But yeah, so CEO of the Y, nice photo in the hall leading down to the Patent Center. CEO 2017, Tiffany Foxx. Percy's not on the timeline, but
I made the Wall of Fame. Maybe they felt obligated, but I made it. Yeah.
Was it your idea to put it up there?
It was not.
Oh, well then.
I had nothing to do with it.
Oh, well then that's better. It'd be different. You're like, yeah, I think we should put a Hall of Fame. Make sure you, 2017. Make
sure I'm in it.
Yeah. No, it's I haven't went through the whole thing yet, but I do. I recognize some faces on there, so it's nice. It's a good touch, and the Y actually looks like it's from a recent time frame. Even, and I love the little the one I'm not old enough to experience. What is it? The moose? No, it's not the moose anymore either. The old YMCA was on right by Chase Bank now.
It's on Tusk. Yeah,
on Tusk.
When I came here, it was the Rack, but
the Rack. I think it's still that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can't imagine that as the Y, but I'm glad was that your idea to put that there too, or no? Neither.
The mural?
Yes.
No, I've got some great people that work with me. It was my marketing director who had that vision. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And the timeline was for our 100th anniversary.
That we didn't get to celebrate.
Yeah.
Are we going to celebrate that or what?
I want to. So, yeah.
It was supposed to be at the
It was supposed to be in 2020
at Brighton Bar, right?
Yeah.
Or what's it called? The Tool Shed?
the Tool Shed.
Yeah, that was going to be fun.
I had a dress and everything, but then COVID happened, and I probably need to buy a new dress because I don't think I can fit in it.
I think that's what everybody's saying after COVID.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I mean, the last person I had on, he kept apologizing because we weren't getting through the sheet, but I think this is better. But anyways,
I'll let you focus.
Yeah, let's just get, into it a little bit. And if we go off on tangents, so what? That's what this is for, is to talk and learn more about you. So a lot of people are wondering, the YMCA, I mean, how is it, I asked Kevin on last episode, he works Subway, obviously, or GM Subway, and that's a big national corporation. Or he corrected me, it's not a corporation, still privately owned. But then you got the local feel. So obviously the YMCA is a big name and they're everywhere. But, how have you guys been holding up? And I have a little bit of insight to this, but, I want to share with my viewers how the Y has been holding up during COVID, and a lot of things were shut down and all that stuff. How you guys holding up? You guys hanging in there?
We are hanging in there. I won't say that it is, it hasn't been without a challenge. I can remember the day that we learned our fate, and it was like, you're shut down at the end of business. And it was like, what? Well, now what? What do we do? And, that time during our shutdown, we had to really work to figure out, okay, what do we do in this space? How do we connect with members? How do we keep our members? And so we lost quite a few members during that time, and we understand that. I
was one of them. I'm sorry, but I'm back.
I'm trying to focus, and don't make me say something that I'm going to regret online. But we do appreciate those members that stayed with us even during our closure. We didn't draft anybody the membership dues, and so there were some that opted in and said, you know what, just keep drafting me. We know the Y needs it. And so it's members like that. It's people like that have kept us going. So we have a core group of just dedicated and committed members. They understand what the Y means and what it means to have a Y in the community. So they've kept us going. It's been challenging to work through all of the restrictions and then trying to reassure people that it's okay to come back, that we're doing our best to clean everything down and make it a safe environment. And frankly, I mean, there are people that are struggling financially, and we do offer financial assistance for anybody that would want to access the Y and may not be able to afford it. However, it's just one of those things that in the grand scheme of I'm trying to survive and maintain my household, we understand that the Y sometimes is kind of first to go, and so we're hoping. We believe that we'll be able to maintain, but we're hoping that by like fall and early next year that people start to say, hey, we really missed the Y. We want to come back. So we're doing what we can in the interim.
Yeah, people, come on back.
Come back.
It's all good. I'm working out in there, trying to get back my fitness level, and, you got a couple of people in there going to wipe down everything. I try to wipe down my own stuff, but
I watch it. People are actually really responsible.
Yeah.
And I was there this morning and watched, and I mean, some really.
I think some people bring their own products from home.
I've seen that, and they bring their own rags, and I'm like, to each his own. I'm good with that. Clean off your space. But there was somebody that was given like the equipment a bath, and that might be a little too much, but
I think I use a little bit too much of the spray stuff because it's all suddy when I'm done. I'm like, I think that was a little too much.
Make the seat white and crust it over so nobody wants to use it after that. Thanks. We'll talk about you later.
Yeah. But the thing that, intrigued me was, once I started to try to get back into the fitness stuff, the classes and stuff, I didn't know a lot of the stuff you guys offered. Just because I was using my membership to work out and play basketball. And that's, and then I started thinking about swimming, and then you're like, oh yeah, online, just schedule. And I'm like, oh, okay. Online. The Y's online. So, I mean, obviously they were online for a while, but I didn't use the online, system until like last year. So I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then, signing up for my 5:45 spin class, which I don't go to anymore. That's too early. But We got new bikes that I missed out on the sale of the old bikes. Oh, I'm so mad.
Yes, those bikes are really nice though. The new bikes are.
Yeah, the old ones still were. I would have loved to have one of those. But yeah, the new ones are
You're
nice.
gonna just keep rubbing that in.
I got to. No, my wife was upset. She's like, because I missed my spin class that morning, and that's why I wasn't able to get one. So my wife's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. She's like, actually, I probably wouldn't even ride it anyway.
Well, that's even more incentive to come.
Exactly. And I have, they
17 brand new bikes.
Yeah, and they got instructors in there that know what they're doing because I don't. I can ride on a outside bike, but indoor is just like, I've never been on a group ride, so I can go on my own pace. I can go as slow as I want. But then when you're in the class, you're like, oh, there's a 60-year-old who's going faster than me. Oh, no.
Well, so the good thing about a spin bike, right, or taking a spin class is that so you can make it whatever intensity you want, and no one really knows that, right?
True.
So the teacher's is going to say, hey, I want you to, ride at, 65 or, hold at 70 RPMs.
Yeah.
Your resistance is up to you. So you could just be like, have little to no resistance.
Sometimes I do the fake turn, like, oh yeah, I'm making it harder.
Yeah. So really, it's you can make it your own class, and that's actually what I love about it. So if I feel like, okay, the teacher is here, I feel like I can go a little bit more, then I'll turn it up and make it a little harder. And then there are times where I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. Let me take it back down a notch.
And they be jamming in there too. But
yes.
I'm trying to learn to swim. I might have Lucas Lane teach me.
You went straight to Lucas. If he has time.
Yeah, I was about to say state champ.
We've got great instructors, though. Yeah. I keep telling you. So it's not being offered right now, but I will tell you, the adult swim class, Coach Sue.
I know. I've missed it a couple times when I'm actually, on my priorities and getting it set up. It's not being, and then when I forget, they're like, "Oh yeah, you missed it." I'm like, "Dang it!" But
it's good.
I'm gonna get in there. I might, holler at Brenda Worley or something. Mm-hmm. But I also want to touch on, there's a lot of gyms in the area now, and I think one just shut down, but do you look at it as competing against those places, or you're just like, well, obviously the Y has that, but we got plenty of other stuff too to keep people coming back other than just weights?
That's a really good question. So there naturally are some things that the Y does that we compete with other gyms in the area. But as you said, when I look at the Y, we offer so much more than just that. We get a lot of families. So from infants on up through seniors, we have a class and something for you to do. We don't just have, one space or one gym. You can go in the basketball gym, you can go in the pool and work out. There are classes available for you. You can put your children in gymnastics while you're taking class and working out. So we feel that for people that want a variety in fitness and want, all of those things included in one membership fee, then we're for you. If you have a specific niche, or you have a relationship with, somebody that's at another gym, or this works for you, to each his own. But I am going to push that the Y has just so much more than a lot of the other places. The other thing that I can share is that the Y has been there 100+ years. Yeah. So there are many gyms that pop up. And, there are times that, things don't work out and they go away, and that forces that person who has built a relationship and is used to going there, and now they have to focus and change. The Y is a brand, it's a name, it's a place that will be there. It'll be there 100 more years. And we have donors and people who set up endowment for us to make sure that we're going to be there for the long haul. So that's what I would say. Yes, we do have some competition, but I think for what all we offer, it's kind of hard to compare apples to apples to a lot of the other organizations.
That's true. The way you ended that was really good, because that was me as a salesman when I was working for ComDoc. It was so hard to make sure, hey, make sure you're actually comparing the right things, But when you look at that, it is kind of hard to debate. But I know I'm trying to get back and fit so I can play, the old man basketball in the morning. But sorry if I offended anybody, but y'all know y'all old, so just stop. But so I guess this being the CEO of the Y, this isn't your first time being the CEO, is it? Or is it?
It is my first time as CEO. It is not my first time as executive director. So in my other roles, I was what they call branch executive director. So with the Y of Greater Dayton, there were 11 locations. And so I was the executive director of one of those locations, and there was one CEO that oversaw all of those locations, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So it's still very similar in the day-to-day operations and maintaining membership and those things locally. But
the day-to-day stuff, Tiffany.
Yeah, don't listen. Don't let me get started with that, because some days it is just crazy, and the stories I could tell of the things that they bring to me, and I go,
well, tell me, we can just edit them out. No, I'm joking.
No, I got in trouble by Kathleen. She was like, how about we
on
not
the YMCA podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She asked me what it was like in the day of life of CEO, and so I think I shared all the crazy stuff because that's just what pops up to me. I mean, the other stuff there's, financial reports and preparing for board meetings and responding to donors. I mean, those kind of things, but that's not what popped in my head initially. It was all like the crazy calls because you're the boss and you're in charge. So here's the problem. Go for it. Yeah. So if you are not good at problem solving and thinking quickly on your feet, do not even think about trying to lead a Y, because you have no idea from one day to the next what you're walking into. Yeah.
That's why I chose a smaller organization.
It keeps you on your toes, and I mean it can be fun. I mean, obviously there are times that it's stressful, but I enjoy more so the stories. Even from I started at the Maslin Y, went to Dayton for about 7.5 years, and then I've been here almost 4 years.
Dang,
there are lots of stories that I can share. Jim Stanford from the Maslin Y, he loves it when I tell him or remind him that I flooded the Y. I didn't know how to shut the water off. I was early in my career. I kid you not. I'll tell the story very quickly. Right. So I was there, director on duty late at night. He must have been out reffing soccer or something. I'm not sure what he was doing, but he wasn't answering my calls.
Gotcha.
Member comes downstairs and said, hey, there's a toilet that's overflowing upstairs in the girls' bathroom. Okay, I will go and fix that, right? So because that's what I do. Like, I'm in charge. I'm going to go solve your problem. And I'm good. I've grown good at that. And so I went upstairs, and it wasn't just like a little bit of like water. It was like just gushing out, right? So at home, you look down and you turn the valve, right? Well, that was not there. And so I'm like, oh no. The water is, this is the second floor, and the water is filling up. Like it's just, and it's going everywhere. Like there's a computer lab across the hall. All of the weight equipment and workout stuff, like cardio was like right below it underneath. And so I'm calling everybody. Nobody's answering. And so I finally get somebody who says, you need a screwdriver. And I'm like, I have no idea where the screwdrivers are. So it took me forever. So by the time that somebody came and actually shut the water off and showed me that you remove this cap and then you just turn it to the right, it was so simple.
Don't you love that?
They got a new lobby, a new lighting, new furniture, and everything. My boss's desk, I love you, Beth, but all her computer was dead, or papers on her. I mean, it was bad. It was bad.
Dang, that sounds fun.
I learned. So I always keep a screwdriver in my drawer. So every location that I've been at, I always keep like a set of tools. Hey. They laugh because they're pink, but I don't care. It still works. And I've had to use them often. I will never flood a YMCA again.
Yeah, my wife's hammer, when I would be gone playing baseball, when she was at home, she had a pink hammer by her bed.
It works the same.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Just when people ask me to borrow it, I go, you sure you want this?
That's hilarious. Oh, man.
I'm getting you all off focus. I'm sorry.
No,
focus.
That's fun. That's I like stories.
Okay.
Especially when I'm not telling them.
So don't tell you one about
I heard my stories. What'd you say?
So don't talk about the bat. I won't. Okay. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yes. I like trouble though. Let's get. No, I'm joking. We won't get you in trouble. We won't get you in trouble. But so you've been experiencing this, the YMCA business and nonprofits and organizations. Or nonprofit organizations, and I'm new. What would you say to? I know this is, a different question, but what would you say to someone like me coming into a nonprofit organization who's never been in that space and is just kind of like, what do I do?
I would say good at relationship building. The work that you do, the work that nonprofits carry out is very meaningful in the community or wherever you're serving or whatever space, whatever, service that you have to offer. Get used to building relationships and being able to tell your story. If you can do those two things, you are good.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that advice. I feel like I'm good at building relationships. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm good at talking. I can talk to just about anybody. So that helps break the ice for a lot of things. I'm not afraid to talk to people. So that has been helpful. But, the alternative to that, and I'm learning that more and more, that we think because the Y has been around for over 100 years and the Y has a brand and a name that people know and recognize, we still realize that not everybody understands fully all that the Y does and the service. And, I still talk about our annual campaign that we provide scholarships to people who want to come in the Y and say, hey, I can't afford it. Or for those people who may be in a shelter for those 30 days, we give them a 30-day membership. So while they're experiencing probably the worst time in their life, we're like, hey, at least come here and be somewhat normal or enjoy some time, away from all of that. And so when I tell those stories, people are like, wow, I had no idea. I talk about our meal program in Denison, how we take food and we do physical activity with them, 30 minutes of physical activity. We talk about health and nutrition, but it's free. So if the kids decide they want to come today, they're going to come and get a meal and we're going to, have fun with them. If they decide the next day they don't want to, but it doesn't matter how many kids show up. There was a time when we first started that program that we had a lot of kids, and I will tell you that we have a partner, Park Christian Church in Denison, Ohio. They've been awesome for us, and maybe they don't know this, but I think in the first week we were still getting used to everything, and we had like 30 kids, and for us for the start we weren't expecting that volume, and I will tell you that it looked like we had some kind of wild party. And like when all the kids left, there was food everywhere, there was balls all over the gym. It was just chaotic, but it was just like, okay, let's roll with it.
What age group is that, by the way?
You know what? It is children from age 1 through age 18. I will tell you that we get probably an average of 7-year-olds to 13, 14-year-olds.
Okay.
That come to the program. We've had some that will come with their parents and kind of sit and hang out that have been younger, but the average is kind of in that middle age. Okay,
that's cool. That's good. That's what's up. Now I know I'm gonna try to take that advice, but I did notice, for me when I was at the Rainbow Connection, and our donors and people we've helped are familiar with the Rainbow Connection, but a lot of people who maybe never needed our assistance, or like me, I didn't know what the Rainbow Connection was. But luckily I never had any like crazy medical stuff where I would need any assistance like that. But, it's just, I'm like, man, I've been in this area for like 30 years, and, there's still people that you gotta, cause we're transitioning to younger people, and they, I'm focusing on the younger people just because I want to let them know that they can give, their time. Obviously they're not financially stable and stuff, but they can give their time and stuff to nonprofit organizations, because there's a lot of organizations in our county that could use any volunteer at any time, and it's great on a resume or a college application, or it's stuff I wasn't thinking about. I was just like, oh, football, get to college, so but it just would have been nice that, and I spent a lot of time at the Y and I've done stuff, but I just didn't know all the stuff that we had in this area. So, and I've said that 100 million times, but, or as my grandma would say, 50-11 times.
As many times as you could get out and tell your story to different audiences. I mean, don't underestimate that if you get in front of Rotary or Kiwanis or, some other group, don't assume that everybody there, because maybe they've been in the community for a long time, don't assume that they all know and understand what your organization does. And that's sometimes where we fall short. Yeah. We stop and we say, well, the Rainbow Connection, And so they may know kind of about what you do, but they may not know. And you evolve. I mean, you're a new director. You're going to be, coming up with new things and constantly changing and evolving the organization to grow and expand the number of people that you serve. I'm speaking that, so apparently that's going to happen. And so, I mean, you just constantly have to be in front of people talking about what it is that you do and highlighting new things, because people just get tunnel vision sometimes and they just I know what that is, but they don't really know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's true. We used to have people coming in like our front door, like, hey, or hit, which I think is cool. I redesigned the website. People are going through hey, do you guys help with this? And even if we don't, we're able to say, hey, go here. Yep. And it's just nice to, people know that, Rainbow Connection. Yeah. So, it's something that I'm very excited to, keep moving in the right direction. But I'm always going to be picking the brains of other people in the county. So, that's important. That's really why I have you on here. But no.
Yeah, I know. Well, you have to sit through the board meeting, so you get all the you get all the ins and outs.
That is true, and I was glad that I got to sit through that, because I never really looked at the finances of a organization or a business or corporation. So I was just like, the first couple meetings, I was just like, mute. What is happening? But I'm coming around, and you got great leadership at the Y, so honored to be a part of that. And I appreciate you coming and meeting at the Mission Cafe with me, the little cafe. I haven't been there in a while. I got to go back. Sorry, Renee, but
I promise I would go to. I haven't been back.
Yeah, it's all my diets that I went on. But
I did go get a gift card there, though.
Oh, you did?
I did for staff.
Oh, okay. Well, look at you. I like that. All right. So I guess I was going to touch on, how did you end up being the CEO of the Y, but I kind of want to, what made you commit? Is just getting the CEO job and you're like, okay, I kind of like this area, even though there's not many black people here, you're like, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to buy a house. So, committing to Tuscarawas County. I mean, how did that decision making go through your mind? Like, all right, I'm going to stay here. I love this Y, or, I see potential to grow here, or just whatever. What is it? So, or you're just like, well, they got Perci Garner that lives here, so it's got to be a nice place.
I'm new to this community, so I felt like I was missing out because everybody was like, yeah, Perci, and I was like, yeah.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Okay.
Some dude, I think he got sacked 11 times against Maslin or something. I don't know. Josh was there. He saw it. I got iced. No.
Sorry.
It's all good.
I'm sorry. Good. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving my age. Graduated much earlier than 2005. I will say that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We'll take that one.
I will say that before I consider a move in the Y, there are a number of things that I feel like need to line up. So if I put my hat in the ring, it's probably after just kind of a lot of thought. And then the process through the Y of a CEO search is pretty extensive. So you have to, kind of go through a couple hoops yourself before they even, determine that they want you. And so you learn more, about the Y. You look at the budget size, they send you some documents, look at the programs. I looked at the Facebook page, looked at the website, just to see kind of, what the community looked like and what the makeup, of that Y was. I saw that it had a rich history. It'd been there a long time. So I was a part of another Y that was like that. And there was a lot of community support. So I'm like, that's good. I called the mayor both in New Philly and Dover, asked them questions. I called the Chamber of Commerce. To ask, what's the Y's reputation? I mean, where do you think of the Y? Because obviously if they all started saying, well, the Y is struggling or, but they all had great things to say about the Y and that it was a cornerstone in the community. And so it was like, okay, so this is worth my time. And so let me fast forward. So you go through a phone interview, but phone interviews are difficult in itself to go through because no one's talking back. You can't see faces. Yeah. And I'm a person that I like to gauge
Yeah.
Like, okay, so are you
get the temperature in the room and see what's going on.
are they like, yeah, no, she's not it? And so it was just completely quiet. And I thought, and then I felt like I was talking too long. And so I tried to shorten my answers, and then we ran out of time, and I was like, oh, I bombed it. Like I completely bombed it, right? So I found out later that they were on the other end, like, yeah, we really like her. We wanted to ask her more, but I felt like, they thought I was terrible, right?
Oh, that's the worst.
So let me fast forward to this process. So the day of, I come into town, and they line up a series of events. So I meet with the staff, and they ask me questions. I meet with like some board members, ask me questions. And then they called it a meet and greet at the country club, right? It was supposed to be a meet and greet of just, some board members, some people that had been like, affiliated with the Y, former board members, people prominent in the community, some donors and that kind of thing. And so it was at the country club, and they were saying that there were refreshments. Well, I didn't know this, so the refreshments were not for me. So I walk in the door, and there had to be maybe 20, 30 people around the room. And so they're mingling amongst each other and, enjoying their hors d'oeuvres. Yeah. And so the announcement is made, ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany is here. And so it just gets quiet.
And have you already been selected by this time?
No.
Oh.
This was part of my interview.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm standing in a room, and they are just firing questions at me. And I'm like, I don't even know where it came from. And so there were so many people in the room, and I'm like, okay, well, let me answer. Who asked me that question? And I can remember at the end of that thinking, okay, that was not a meet and greet, but maybe the meet and greet wasn't for me. It was for, it was for them. It was like a firing. It was just like, as soon as I came in, rapid fire, answer question. Man. And so I walked out of there, and I was like, oh, man. So the next day then, walked around and, like I said, met with the staff, met with some board members, the meet and greet. And so then the next day was the actual interview, and they give you some topics that they want you to present to them. So here's where we are. You have to, present where you're taking the Y or where you're going. And so if anyone knows, I got to put him out there. Nathan Vaughn is an attorney, right? And so there were a couple that were on the committee that I felt like Becky Maston and Jim Booth, they were smiling at me during this. So I had given my presentation, and so now I'm sitting down and I'm answering questions. And I felt like Jim and Becky were smiling at me because they felt bad because the other questions that kept coming, and Nathan has just a straight poker face, and he doesn't let you. And I felt like I was on the witness stand. And I felt like he wanted to, where were you on the night of? And did you do it? Did you order the gold ribbon? I felt like it was. Oh my gosh. I couldn't read him at all. And I'm usually really good at reading the room. And he just did not let off at all. But I remember. Might as well
just been on the phone, huh?
I remember those three specifically because they just kept smiling. And I was like, oh, they feel so sorry for me. And Nathan would he would go, and I'm like, okay, so this was a great learning experience. Probably didn't get the job. And the other thing is, I'll put that out there, is that I was unsure if they were ready or accepting of somebody that looked like me. Their former leaders didn't look, they weren't Black women. And I knew that the community was not as diverse. Obviously, is where I'm coming from, the Dayton area. Yeah. And so there was a little bit of hesitation. I remember asking the question, even when we got to the phone interviews, do they know what I look like? And so when I got there, I don't think that factored in at all. I didn't feel like they were like, oh, but I had that question initially. And then when they called me to offer the role, I was like, really? Not that I didn't feel like I was qualified. It was just like
how everything was going. You just didn't feel.
I didn't feel it, and I thought for sure they're not. And it's hard to keep my quirky, goofy So I'm sure that came out at points. I was trying to like keep it under control, but part of that is that they want. I run a Y. They want somebody that is personable, that can laugh and talk with people, and so I remember getting that call, and I was like, "Thank you. Let me think about that." And I think that might have thrown them off too. But I hung up the phone there, and I was like, "Yes, yes, I got it." And so then I called my boss, my old boss, and I was like, "Guess what?" And he said, "What?" And I said, "I just left my interview." And they called me, and he was like, "Okay." And he said, "Well, what did they say?" I said, "They offered me the job." And he was like, "Are you surprised?" I said, "A little." And he's like, "You're more than qualified." I'm like, just go with me here. And so he's like, "Well, what did you say?" I was like, "I don't know. I told him I was going to call him back." It was the craziest 15 minutes of my life, because I was like happy and
but you had to keep the cool, I
did. And so I got back on the, yes, thank you so much for that offer. I'd love to talk to my family and share with them the opportunity and make sure we're all still on board. And is it okay that I give you a call back? And so literally, so if he could have seen me, I was like, yes, sir. Give me about 24 hours. I'll give you a call back. But it's been awesome ever since. They have been supportive of me. They've gone through challenges and just, it's been great. I don't regret it. And so I am committed. I am here in Tuscarawas County, and my daughter, who's 11, she's in Dover School. She's like, yeah, I'm not moving her at all. She's like planted her flag. So she's in sixth grade. So
that's good.
We're here.
Dang, you got her in school early? How'd she get to sixth grade already? She ain't even 12?
She'll be 12.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. Just for sports reasons, you need to hold her. No, I'm playing.
She has an August 29th birthday. So
okay.
Depending on, she's younger than most of the kids that are Gotcha. Well, hey, women, you guys mature faster than boys. That is true. That is true.
Look at her. Your whole tone changed. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, we do.
What? So, did you just want to get closer to home? Was this a better role than your last one in Dayton, or what? Did you not like Dayton?
You know what? That's a great question. I loved what I did in Dayton, and I love that association. My daughter that I just referenced, my youngest child, she started to have just some medical issues that I felt like it was probably time to get closer to home so that I could have help with her. Yeah. Anybody that's ever, a parent of either a young child or a child that kind of, I needed a little bit more of a support system. And so I started looking and looked for opportunities that obviously matched what I was doing. And obviously I wanted to be closer to home. And this is, about 40 minutes away from where my parents live. Nice. And I don't know. I think you just look at, kind of all those factors. And, did I want to be, there was a part of me initially that was like, do I want to be a CEO? Yeah. Being a branch executive director, there's still somebody that's over you that takes blame. Right. So he did it, or he told me to do it. He gave us direction. And so I knew that being a CEO of an independent operation meant that there were going to be a lot of things that I would carry on my own. Whereas if you're part of a big association, there's a corporate office and there are corporate people. So there are people that answer all those questions for you. So that there is a CFO and an HR person and a marketing specialist and all of those, you got like extra people, an accounts payable person and then accounts receivable. So you have lots of people. Yeah. And so when you go from an association to an independent Y, you are all those people. And so I had to learn quickly that there were lots of questions that I would get asked. You had to figure that out. Yeah. And so they would say, and I would say, what do you think? And they were like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, okay, I answer that. Like, there's not a person for that. So it's been a great ride, but that certainly there is a difference there. But yeah, ultimately to be closer to home, was the move. But I still love all of the people. I've been fortunate to be able to meet people, not from all over because I haven't left Ohio yet, but at least.
You never left Ohio? Vacation?
I mean, vacation-wise, but not. I haven't worked outside of Ohio. I've been in Wise in Ohio. So,
gotcha.
When I get like older and my daughter graduates, I said that's when it's time. I'm leaving Ohio. I'm doing something big. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm saying it. I don't know, but I'm afraid of a lot of things. So I don't want to go to a place that has a lot of tornadoes or they have.
You're already in. No, we are the Dover tornadoes.
Yes, but you don't actually have them that.
True,
I was in a place, Xenia. True story. They used to love to scare me about the tornadoes that they had.
Really?
Yeah. And then there's an anniversary and they show you all the pictures and scare the crap out of you. So anytime the weather thing goes off, me and my kids would be running for cover and like this. True story.
I was afraid of tornadoes growing up too. And there actually was one at a football game when I was in middle school. I came to a football game and it actually I don't think it was near the area and the game got canceled. I was just like, isn't this ironic? The Dover tornadoes get canceled due to a tornado. So I have a couple, I guess funny questions.
Okay.
You don't have to answer this, but Tusk County versus Stark County.
Stark County. I can't. So listen, and the reason it's I was born and raised there. So, how, if you weren't born and raised here, my family is still there. That's my stomping ground and where I know the people. And even though over time I've been gone and so those people change, but it's still I
got you.
That it's hard to change home.
Thought I'd get you to, switch over.
No. Although I love where I am. Like I said, I live here.
Well, yeah, you committed. I
bought a house here. I live here. Yeah. I'm committed, but you can't give up your hometown. I mean, there are just way too many memories.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. This next question I think is funny, but how do you think your peers would describe you? So not your
Lord,
not your coworkers or your employees, but
peers?
Your peers.
I want to say it without getting myself in trouble. I would say that I am typically the life of the party.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you gave me a lot of warnings before the show.
I can get us, and I'm animated and I am highly encourageable sometimes. And sometimes I get a little carried away, but it's all in good fun because I love people and I feed off energy. Yeah. And the more silly they are, the sillier I get. And it just ends up sometimes just being...
Well, maybe we can't sit near each other at Rotary meetings.
Probably not. But I would also say that they would say I am very driven and ambitious.
I like the word driven. A lot of people, and I think I talked about it on an episode before, but a lot of people like to use the word motivated, and I equate that word to happy, where it's kind of temporary in the moment.
Yeah. And
then I say, for me, it's joy and driven are together because it's just internal, and no one really I'm always joyful no matter what.
Yeah.
And if you're driven, I wouldn't say I'm always driven, but if you're driven, then nothing's really going to stop you. When you're I'm motivated to do this. I might be motivated to go cut the grass, but then next week I'm not motivated to go cut the grass.
Very true. Very true.
So I like that you use that word. But so you said life of the party, driven and ambitious.
Yes.
Ambitious. Yeah. I've been watching a lot of, who Kevin Samuels is? No. Oh, you got to watch him on YouTube. He's hilarious. Anyways, he interviews women he used to coach men on how to get women, but now he does it the other way.
Okay.
He's getting a lot more views on YouTube doing it this way. Because when it was kind of boring. People didn't really care. You already know what to tell men. But But we were like, okay, so now that he sees what the women are talking about, and he's brutal. He's polite though. Until he gets a little snapback from the women, then he's entertaining, and you might not agree with what he's saying, but you might not think it's the right way, but it's the truth for most situations.
Now I'm gonna have to listen.
Yeah, you gotta listen to it.
I will give you my thoughts.
Yes, I would.
That.
Oh, he literally does FaceTime with the women live on his YouTube channel.
Oh wow!
And then they ask him a question, and he's hilarious. Yeah,
he's driven is. I have had some obstacles in life that what drives me often is that people that expect me to fail or not to be able to do something. And so I share this often, not that I'm ashamed of it, that I had my oldest daughter who is 26, I had her in high school. And I can remember from that day that I announced, people learned that I was pregnant. It was like, your life is over.
Yeah.
Like, and you are doomed to repeat the cycle of poverty. You're going to live in the projects forever. You're not going to have any money. You're really not going to make anything of yourself. And I remember for a period of time that, I was 16 years old. So I had to go to get assistance from Job and Family Services. And I can remember even the way I was treated going in there. It was just like, okay, you're another one of them. Come over here. Do you have your papers? And I can just remember that feeling of just shame, or how they just kind of just turn their nose down at me. And I have always been driven by that. Like, no, this is not where I'm staying, right? I'm going to keep going. And so for every job and everything that I've had to do, it's been interesting because I can look at the other people who are like, they're happy, they're content in where they are. And I can say, this is okay right now, but this is not where I'm going to end up. And I remember if I would say something, people would just say, well, you've got this, and you've got a daughter, and, now you've got a son. And so how are you going to, okay, I'm going to prove you wrong. And so I share that because there are so many young ladies that your mistakes, and I say this all the time when I speak, your mistakes do not define you. They make you stronger. They make you better. And so with all of that, that's okay. I learned how to juggle things early on in life, right? How to grow up.
Women already got that extra.
Yeah.
The extra gene to multitask. And men.
Yeah. And so people will say, well, you did well for what you're going. Yes. Yeah. I did. Like, are you surprised?
I did well for a normal person too.
Right. But I'm
just for anything.
Are you surprised by that? So no, I'm driven. And so I've not arrived to the point in my career, or I think what I want to do in life, where I can say okay, I'm done. This is I am here. And it's not knocking, the role that I'm in, because I want to take it to as far as I can to the next level, so that people know she was here. Yeah. Okay. And so then I'm always okay, so then what's next? Yeah. Right. So how many other people can I influence, or what can I make better, and what can I help? So
that's what's up. Yeah. Well, I want to give you some bad news. You kind of revealed your age with your.
Oh, I did.
We're not going to say the number out loud, but No.
You was doing the math, trying to figure out how old I was?
Well, that's literally, I was going to be a math teacher. So it just happens.
Shame on you.
Yeah. Ask my wife. I swear.
Don't you ever repeat that out loud?
It just happened, carry the one. No,
don't repeat it. And nobody else thought of that until you brought it back up.
Sorry.
But I do get that. You have a 26-year-old? Yes, I do. I don't tell them. I don't share that story with everybody. So
yeah, I didn't know
most people know, but they.
Yeah, I didn't know, but that's. But I'm okay with the beauty of this podcast. Yeah. I love it. That's what that literally.
Tiffany reveals it all.
That's going to be the title.
Everybody will be listening to figure out what's she talking about.
Just like my video, I got an announcement. She loved that.
I was so upset. Really? All these, and so I'm thinking the worst. You have this announcement, and I'm thinking, oh, is he leaving somewhere? Did he take a contract with somebody else? If he leave him, I was being selfish. Is he leaving the board? Right? Now I got to find another board member. And you were like, I got an announcement about an announcement. Really? Wasted my 10 seconds on that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And then I started laughing. Then you see me crack up on the.
And I couldn't believe how many people people responded to that. And I'm like, don't feed into that. And it kept showing up on my feed because somebody else would comment. And I'm like, just stop. Just stop it. Just take it down. I'm upset with that. Don't do that again.
Oh shoot!
Don't do that.
Well, now we've taken our talents to YouTube exclusively for the video. So yeah,
is that better?
Well, I mean, I was getting a lot of views on Facebook, but I'm trying to drag them.
Greedy. And
I want to drag them to
or?
YouTube. It's just YouTube is just a better platform for creators. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a creator, in case you guys didn't know.
My daughter watches YouTube all day.
Oh, I love YouTube.
There's a guy that just literally uses Google Translate, and he makes stuff.
Really?
So if he's baking something, he just uses Google Translate, and however it comes out is what it's ridiculous. But
people are creative, and YouTube. Like Josh is not a big YouTube watcher, but I watch a ton of YouTube, whether it's for entertainment, whether I might start out trying to learn something, and then next thing you know, I'm watching like dumb comedy videos. So I'm just like, how did I get here? I was learning how to edit this video, where I was learning how to work this program, and next thing you know, I'm looking at kiddies like play with a ball and fall off a couch or something. Anyways, I got one more.
Don't tell anybody stuff on it. Can you edit that out?
Yeah, edit that out, Josh.
Okay.
But before you leave, I know there's other stuff, but before you leave, I'm gonna do the fast questions with you. So, the last time I had fast questions, the person did not answer them fast. So I want you to answer them fast.
I know, because I might be like, I don't know.
I think the first one, it took her like a minute and a half. I was like, the time is up.
Okay.
All right, and I don't have these. These are just kind of off the dome for me.
My Spanish teacher used to say diarrhea of the mouth, constipation of the brain. So like you would just say whatever, and then
you've heard that. Oh, that's good.
But like you wouldn't be saying really anything that's coherent. But she would always, if you just blurted out something. Shoot. So I'm thinking of her as I answer these questions. So it's just going to come out, and so it may not.
That's good.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
And I'm not saying I say the question, you're just like blah, blah. Like you. It doesn't have to be like that. You can go. Okay, there it is. All right.
Wait. I'm thinking it's like buzzer, like Family Feud. Like I gotta answer, right? Like you gotta answer it quickly.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Hold on. Let me get my.
Every time someone says Family Feud, I get it. I start getting ready. One. All right. Let's do question number 1. Who's your favorite athlete?
Pass.
All right. What's your favorite food?
Pizza.
Okay. Favorite actor, actress?
Angela Bassett.
Ooh. Okay. Josh, I don't even know who that is. Oh, okay. Watch Waiting to Exhale. Don't watch Waiting to Exhale. I'm joking. Yes. No, do not.
I'm going to be like how Stella got her groove back.
Oh, Lordy. Oh, Tay Diggs is in that one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. You know who Tay Diggs is? Come on, Josh. Watch a black movie one time. No, I'm joking.
Or wait, can I change?
Cheerleading? Tiff coming back out. Change what?
I have a number of favorite actors. Rocky. I love Rocky, but
Rocky, as in the character's name is Rocky?
Sylvester Stallone.
Okay,
because I love like his lip when he talks, it like droops down. That is so sexy. I mean, not now because he's older.
You said that's sexy?
That is so sexy. Like when he talks and he's like, "Yo, Adrian," and his lip goes down like that. I love it. I love watching Rocky 4 is my favorite because then he's like, you can see him training. And he's
I don't remember which Rocky is which. I name him by the boxer he fought at the end.
Well, he was training to fight the Russian.
Oh,
he's like
Ivan Drago.
Yes.
Okay. See that I don't know about the numbers. I know Apollo
I just
Creed.
know like his lip.
I did not think she was going to say sexy with the lip drop.
It's so sexy. Wait till you have to watch in the Rocky movie and just watch as he talks and like his lip goes over like that. I can't do it, but
I can only picture Jim Carrey on In Living Color making fun of him.
Probably.
Anyways,
I made this much longer.
No, it's great. It's
Okay.
great. It's great. Favorite advice you ever got? This one's always the hard one.
See a little, say a lot.
Ooh, okay. See a little, say a lot. Okay. Oh, my next question. Oh, sorry. I was like letting that sink in.
Yep.
Who's your favorite artist or band?
Oh, that's such a hard question.
Is
There
it?
are yes. So there are like so
Who's
many.
your favorite?
I don't know. Yolanda Adams because I like gospel, but I like Jill Scott and Erykah Badu and Lettucey too. So they're all Lettucey.
Do I know who that is?
How can you not know?
I know who Jodeci is.
How do you not know Lettucey?
Lettucey?
Yes.
What is that?
Oh my gosh, she is
Just
so
say it like a
bad.
song title.
Her most recent is "I'll Do Anything for You." The other one is I can't think of it. That's supposed to help me. Like I can because I used to sing it.
You're gonna have to show me. I might have to look up a song after because we might get a copyright on YouTube. I didn't know you could. Did I know you could sing? Oh yeah, you always try to avoid it at Rotary.
Yeah.
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 But no, I didn't know you could sing. I thought I did. But yeah, I'll have to look her up after this. What talent would you want that you don't have? Like whether it's athletics, because obviously you can just sing, so that's what made me come to that one. Because I always want to say I wish I could sing and not be an athlete, but
I think I wish. I can answer questions faster. I don't know.
see, it's harder to look.
So maybe it's not like a talent,
That's all
but
good.
so you have to watch SpongeBob. and you have to watch the one where he orders the abrasive side. So like a sponge that like, so you get the sponge and like that has a green top on it, that like the scouring pad part.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the episode, SpongeBob's always nice. He's always joyful. People are mean to him and he just responds back nicely.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like I do that. And there are times where I feel like I had it in me. Like it doesn't come out naturally.
And then later you're like, ooh, I should have said this.
Yes. And so I want SpongeBob's abrasive side. I just want to put it on like one time so I can just shoot back like whatever you just said, because it takes me a minute to process, like, and I'll be like, okay, great, have a good day. Okay, yeah, you too. And then I walk away and I'll go, he just insulted me. And I should have said, and next time, but it does not flow from me naturally. I'm just naturally
nice.
Yes.
I'm the same way.
And I want the abrasive side. So Annalise Keating.
Oh,
and How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh my god!
Like she is my SpongeBob abrasive side.
What's her real name?
Viola Davis.
Viola
Davis.
Me and my wife love How to Get Away with Murder.
So she just will say whatever.
Yeah.
Do I look like I'm your mother? I want it just one time when somebody comes to me with something. I just want to just.
She is a top-notch actress.
Yes, she is.
I mean, other people you mentioned earlier were great, but
I mean, you had to give me like off the fly. Like I have to think about.
Yeah, whatever.
That.
It's like, all right, last one.
Okay.
Who would you want to have? I was looking at Baker Mayfield on the wall.
Like what? So is he gonna give you like? Tell me what my next question is.
I'm feeling dangerous. Who would you want to have dinner with, dead or alive? Any person in the world ever in history?
Nobody. Actually, dead.
No. They don't have to be alive for you to say that. You could say them. You could say like. This is gonna turn into like a show. I'm
sorry. I said I was gonna be really good.
No, this is good. This is good. This is good.
Okay.
I want my podcast to be like this.
Okay. Hello. I'm gonna be all proper and stuff.
But yeah, so any person in the world in history, Who would you want to have dinner with? Like, it could be
Who's
man,
cooking?
woman. Huh?
Who's cooking?
Your favorite meal. The cook doesn't exist. Your favorite meal is just there. But
Well, I mean,
it's all about the person.
My favorite meal is like home cooked food, like greens and macaroni and cheese and sweet potatoes and that kind of stuff. So,
I mean, you can have George Washington make him eat soul food. It could be anybody ever.
that's a really good question. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess, I mean, I would love to eat with my grandmother again.
Oh, good answer.
She died when I was somewhat younger, and she cared for me and did things for me, and I was not grateful at that time.
Yeah, none of us are at that time.
And she just wanted time with me and wanted to spend time, and I wanted to go out and just like, Grandma, like,
yeah,
I don't want
to go have fun.
Yeah, and so she would call me, and I would ignore her, and so I would answer the phone, and she would say, I just want to let you know I'm still in the land of the living. I would say, hey, Grandma. So I think I wish that if I could go back, I would have dinner with her again and tell her all that I've accomplished, that I'm not a crazy wild child anymore, and that like I actually did some things, like I want to show her so that she can be proud.
That's what's up. I like that. Well, that's a good one to end on. I appreciate you stopping by and gracing us with your presence. I think that's going to be my new line. I like saying that. Gracing us with your presence. I forgot to start this video off with, hey, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Just put that at the beginning. No, I'm joking.
We're going to start all over.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yes. No, but I appreciate you joining us, and this was fun. I love having this episode. Last episode was fun, too, with Kevin. And
I was going to say, you say that to all your guests.
No, I do not. I think I like really right when it's over or the guest leaves, I looked at Josh. I was like, that was a really good episode. Right? I don't say that every time. So we'll see if I say that after this one. No.
Josh will tell me the truth. I will see him.
Yeah, we gotta go watch Rocky's Mouth. And lettuce.
So
I gotta listen to
lettuce. Lettuce. No, lettucey. Ledisi.
Ledisi. Okay, we'll look it up. Spotify. But thanks again for coming. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And this video will be up Tuesday. Make sure you like, subscribe. Please subscribe. 70%. I think it's 70% of the people that watch this or watch this channel are not subscribed. Like, why? It's just, either your finger or, move the mouse over there. Just click it. It's free. It's easy. Help us out. Anyways, okay. Thank you, everybody. Peace. It feels like Casablanca. Shouting you my little mama. I got a crib out of water. Say me Casa su casa. It feels like Casablanca. Shouting you my little mama. She be on that Henny. I like that Corona.